Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of OnPrem Pros. My name is Josh Moss, and today I got my friend here, Tyler Young. And today we are going to talk a little bit about Unity XT all flash systems. So, Tyler, we've recently learned that Unity XT all flash is going to be going end of sell. Can you give me a little bit more information about what that looks like for all flash customers today, and what our path looks like going forward?
Yeah, of course. So the Unity XT all flash, like you mentioned, is going to be going end of sales, and that's going to be August 1st of this year. So a little less than a month away. So if you're in the process of thinking about potentially getting a Unity XT all flash, definitely time to make that decision. Sooner rather than later, because again, end of sale is going to be August 1st of 2025. Now, for those of you who already have a Unity XT all flash array. That's something where you actually have until August 4th of 2028 to expand it, meaning you can add drives to it, you can do some upgrades to it, add an expansion enclosure, etc. And again, that's going to be August 4th of 2028. And then from a support standpoint, you guys have until July 30th of 2030. So essentially, that's typically like 7 years from data sale. No renewals are going to be able to be made past that date. So again, this is only affecting the Unity XT all flash variant. So the Unity XT hybrid is still available for purchase, but Unity XT all flash is something that is being phased out.
Got it. So for customers that might be looking at, needing, a certain level of performance that necessitates all flash, where should we be directing them? What options do the customers have?
Yeah. Yeah, great question. So Dell definitely has you guys covered. So an alternative that I would definitely recommend over anything else is going to be PowerStore. PowerStore is Dell's latest and greatest. It's their end-to-end all NVMe appliance. It's something that can scale at a much better rate than what Unity ever could. For those of you who love the Unity, it takes all of those features that you loved out of Unity, all those features that even if some of you guys who are familiar with some of the other legacy Dell appliances, it takes all the good out of all those and kind of puts it together. But again, it's going to be end to end all NVMe. So, like I said, much better scalability, significantly better performance. And I mean, I think we even ran a couple, a test with some customer scenarios, and we were able to get like what used to take them, 8U, 12U, 20U of, Unity appliances and get it down to just 2U in a power store. So, I mean, it's definitely something that we'd recommend there.
Awesome. And I will say also when it comes to migration, for customers that are out there on Unity all flash today, or maybe even Unity hybrid and needing to upgrade, when it comes to migration, Dell has a set of tools that are integrated into the Power Store that come included by default, no additional cost or licensing that allows customers to also, do block import. You can do file import, regardless of whether you're coming, you're going for Hyper-V, VMware, or any Linux iteration out there. There is, rest assured, there is a migration path for each of those customers, no matter what hypervisor they're doing. As like Tyler mentioned, Dell took all the good features that Unity had, including management, from management perspective. So there is an HTML5 interface similar to the Unity, and has been revamped and updated, and is continually being updated for the Power Store. So you still got that one-to-one management of systems. If you do cluster multiple Power Store appliances together, there is a single pane of management there. But let's also not forget, Dell's got what was formerly called Apex AI Ops and now just called AI Ops, which is kind of your single pane of glass for not only storage, but everything that's in the data center when it comes to servers, storage, and networking.
Yeah, and you would know firsthand. I mean, you've deployed and been hands-on with that, at least 100 of these so far. So, like I said, you definitely know your stuff with this. One thing I would do definitely want to call out is I mentioned before that this specifically does cover the Unity XT all flash variant. If your customer is still looking at the Unity XT hybrid, I still think it definitely makes sense to consider looking at Power Store, right? Even if you just want to kind of test the water, see what it would come out price wise. Dell actually has what's called the a 5-to-1 data reduction guarantee. So essentially, what that means is if you are looking to get 100 terabytes usable out of the Power Store, you can essentially size it for 20 terabytes. And after dedupe and compression are in place, Dell guarantees that you're going to be getting a 5-to-1 data reduction ratio. So that 20 terabytes usable will turn into 100 terabytes effective, essentially giving you a lot more than what you're paying for. So we've had several customers who essentially just went down the rabbit hole of looking at PowerStore just for giggles to see what it would cost and what it would look like if they were to go down that route, and they ended up going with it, even though they only wanted a hybrid. Non-power store solution just because of the value there. But again, definitely does make sense there. But again, what we're talking about today is the Unity XT going end of sale here in beginning of August, and that's something that if you're considering looking at purchasing a Unity XT all flash array, you definitely want to, like I said, either make a move on that or start looking at some other options that Dell does have under the portfolio.
Absolutely. If you're out there listening to us and you've got a Unity right now, or you might be looking at a Unity, definitely reach out to us. We can help guide you through the process, provide, some best recommendations based on what your, workload look like, how much IOPS throughput that you need. But yeah, just to recap, Tyler mentioned, so the end of sales date is going to be August of 25. End of expansion will be August of 2028. And then that final end of support will be the end of July of 2030. Thanks, everyone.